All right, well, welcome to our webinar today, Social News Desk in Action, Tools and Tips for Journalists and Government Agencies. So happy to have you join us today. My name is James. I'm joined by Sarah Lloyd. We'll do introductions here in just a second. But if this is the first time that you're learning about what we do here at Social News Desk, we're essentially a social media publishing tool for education, news, K through 12, local government agencies, essentially anyone that has a social media team, a social media strategy, and they're looking for ways to streamline their social media operation. You can publish with Social News Desk, but you can also schedule out, you can automate your content. We also have social listening and social archiving, and we'll go through some of those features today. But first off, I want to introduce my colleague on the call, Sarah. She'll be taking questions here. So Sarah, if you want to give a quick introduction here.
Sure, thanks, James. Yeah, I'm Sarah Lloyd. I'm the head of product success and evangelism here at Social News Desk, and I've been with the team for 11 years now. We're getting ready to celebrate our 15th birthday, so I've been here for a minute. But I'm based down in San Antonio, Texas. My background is in newsrooms, and I actually was a Social News Desk customer before I joined the team. So really pleased to be here. Looking forward to your questions later on today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And my name is James Harrelson. I've been working for Social News Desk here for about 4 years. Next month, it'll be 4 years. And I'm actually a former client of Social News Desk, and I have over 10 years of experience working in digital strategy with television, newspaper, and radio. I'm based here just north of Cincinnati, Ohio, in a town called Springboro, with my wife and two sons, two boys, a 6-year-old and 3-year-old. So things are very quiet around my house, basically. But really, my passion is really just helping social media teams, especially in news, local government, K through 12, higher education, really streamline their social media process. And for today's call, what we're going to do is we're really going to focus on two of those key industries. If you're joining this call, you're likely a part of the news industry or the local government industry. And the reality is, I think, regardless of what what industry you're a part of, I really think there's three key questions that every single communicator should be asking when it comes to their social media strategy, which we'll go over today. The first one being, how can I save more time and do more with less effort? Let's be real here, folks. The reality is that you are likely juggling multiple hats. Social media is not your only job at your company, and that really provides a lot of challenges for us, right? Because we're juggling so much, and we have to figure out, okay, what is the best way to utilize our time? What is the best way to get our message out in the best way possible while mitigating the amount of effort that it takes from our team? So that's going to be the first question that we talk about. We're also going to talk about how can I better understand my audience and respond effectively. So we'll go over tools today on how to quickly pinpoint how you're performing on social media. What is your audience telling you through the data? And more importantly, how you can respond quickly and effectively and deliver the right piece of content at the right time. And then we'll also look at how can I keep improving and staying ahead in a changing landscape. And so I'll go over some features that not only can help you with your social media strategy, but also increase your knowledge in a field that is constantly changing. But let's tackle this first question here. How can I save more time and do more with less effort? As I mentioned, social media management is likely just one of those hats that you're wearing. And if you find yourself having to manually post or differentiate content for each platform, that can be very time consuming. And so you really need a tool that can help you post across multiple platforms, and not just post across multiple platforms, but also have the ability to differentiate things like your caption or even the visual. That's what I love about Social News Desk, and I really loved using Social News Desk in the newsroom when I worked in the news industry, because I was able to get mission critical information out to my community across multiple platforms. As you can see here on your screen, one of the things that is really noteworthy about Social News Desk is just all of the platforms that you have access to in terms of publishing, scheduling, automating. And the reality is that, whether you find yourself in local government or news, the reality is that you're going to have those moments where you have to get mission critical information out to the community. And the last thing that you need to worry about is getting bogged down, manually publishing, manually editing posts. With Social News Desk, not only are you able to post across all of these platforms, but if you wanted to change out your image or your video for certain platforms, you can easily do that. So we really give you tools that make it easy to quickly get content out to your audience, but we also provide you with tools that help encourage engagement on your social media posts. You also have the capability here to schedule out what we call interaction. So essentially, you can schedule follow-up comments from your Facebook page. You can schedule out shares. And this becomes very important because, if you find yourself manually going into the comment section and posting additional information, again, that's something that could be very time consuming. I remember when I was in the newsroom, a lot of times we would have severe weather. I live here in Ohio, and what's interesting about Ohio is the weather is not boring at all. It's constantly active. There's a lot of severe weather. We have some pretty rough winters, and so there's a lot of school closures. And oftentimes what would happen is anytime that we had these major winter events or these school closures, we would obviously post the breaking news story to our social media pages, but I would also use this tool to schedule out additional comments about the winter weather, or looking at our live local radar and seeing the latest forecast. So this is something that not only news agencies can use, but also local government agencies. Let's say that you have a post talking about trick-or-treating times. Maybe you have a graphic there. And what you can do inside the comment section is basically schedule a follow-up comment that directs people to, say, a press release on your site that shows all of the trick-or-treating times for all of your neighborhoods. So there's a lot of opportunities there. But again, the big theme here is that it's able to cut down on the amount of time that it takes you to engage with your community. We also have a lot of great planning tools like a publishing calendar. So one of the things that you can do is you can publish directly from a calendar view, or as you just saw there on the screen, if you need to adjust a scheduled time for a post, you can just simply drag and drop it. What I really love about this tool, though, is you can leave customized notes for your team. So if you know, for example, that you have a local event coming up and you need social media coverage, you can drop in notes that your team can read. If you need a photo post or a video post, for a lot of local government agencies that work with us, they'll use this tool to basically schedule out their entire year. So they'll sit down and they'll say, okay, we know in the summer months we're going to have a specific local event that we need to cover. We know during this time there's going to be elections and information that we need to get out to the community. And essentially what they do is they use this tool and they schedule out a year in advance. So this is a very powerful tool that, again, cuts down on the amount of time that it takes your team. You don't have to worry about going directly to Facebook or going directly to Twitter and manually scheduling out content. You can do it now in a centralized place inside our publishing calendar. But in addition to that, you may find yourself in a situation where you need to automatically publish your social media content. Maybe you are short-staffed on the weekends, or maybe someone has called in sick and you need to have your social media automated. This is another powerful feature of Social News Desk, where we have AI-powered publishing, where let's say that you want to basically automate a certain portion of the day, or maybe you want to automate an entire platform. You can easily do that. And again, this is something that really cuts down on time. I remember when I was in the newsroom, one of the things that we realized was We weren't getting a whole lot of traffic from Twitter. Again, I know it's called X. I can't really will myself to call it X. I'm sorry, Elon Musk. So if I say Twitter, you guys obviously know what I'm referring to. So we realized that we weren't getting a whole lot of ROI on that platform. So what we decided to do was automate Twitter and essentially focus our times on our time and effort on big platforms like Facebook and Instagram. And so this is something that, again, a lot of our clients really utilize to cut down time. And we just made this exciting update a couple of days ago where now you can actually automate your media feed directly from your CMS. So you can automatically publish things like videos and images to your social media channels. So again, another fantastic way to cut down on time. And what's really great is we hear a lot of success stories from our clients. Here on your screen, this is Megan Freeman, who has had experience in both the news and local government industry. She's currently at the city of Baldwin, Missouri, but she's also a former journalist herself. And one of the things that they noticed right off the bat is just how much time they were able to save. It was taking them around 15 minutes to post content across all of their different accounts. And when they use Social News Desk, they were able to cut that down to 2.5 minutes, which is incredible. You can just do the math off the top of your head. I'm not good at math off the top of my head, but I'm sure you are good at math and watching this webinar, and you can easily determine just how impactful that is. All of that adds up. And so this is something that, again, every single social media team has to ask themselves, how are we utilizing our time? It's almost as if you have to be an ardent defender of your time. And what's great about Social News Desk is we help you in that journey. We help you cut down the amount of manual time and effort, so it frees up opportunity. It frees up space for you to tackle the other responsibilities on your plate. The second question that I feel like we all have to ask ourselves is, how can I better understand my audience and respond effectively? Really what I think this comes down to is really just finding out what truly matters to my audience. And once I'm able to determine that, being able to quickly provide the relevant content to my audience. So there's a number of ways that you can track engagement and the overall pulse of your audience with Social News Desk. The first one is our inbox feature, where essentially all of your audience feedback, the comments, the direct messages, the app messages, all filter into one central feed. And that's critical, because if you don't have something centralized, you're essentially going to each platform. You're logging into each platform. You're trying to track the conversation manually. And the reality is that, especially if you have an operation with several social media accounts, you just simply don't have the time to be able to manually go to each platform. So you can easily track that inside the dashboard. You can also track the overall conversation that's going on across the social media universe. With our search and listen feature, you're able to monitor these public pages, and not just major pages across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, but we also give you next door listening capabilities as well. And that's significant because if you're familiar with next door, you know that when you listen directly in the app, you can only listen to a certain geographical area, right? And that becomes problematic, especially for local government agencies where you may have people that are commuting into work that are commuting 40 miles outside of the city. But what's really great about Social News Desk, and a huge plus to using this to track conversations on Nextdoor, is there are no geographical limitations. You can jump on Social News Desk and you can type in any area, any town, and monitor the conversation. You don't even need a Nextdoor account to use this in our search and listen feature. So this is something that is incredibly powerful. Now, for all of my news friends, this probably looks familiar to you. This probably looks similar to a platform called CrowdTangle. And I used CrowdTangle all the time when I was in the newsroom. I was heartbroken when Meta announced that they were discontinuing it. And what was really great about that is is we had a lot of our news clients reach out to us when they made this announcement about CrowdTangle going away. And they basically said, hey, listen, is there any way that your team can create something similar? And in our dev team, they went to the drawing board, and we found that we obviously can't replicate CrowdTangle 100%, but we were able to bring back all of those mission critical elements that so many journalists love about the tool. So you're able to track overperforming content. You're able to search for keywords in some of these social media platforms. And so this is something that a lot of our newsrooms take advantage of, but also our local government agencies take advantage of this as well, whether it's tracking the conversation inside Nextdoor, or maybe they want to track our DMA feed, our Publishers by DMA feed, which looks at all of the news agencies in a particular media market. And they do this to track and see if their local government is in the news and how that's being presented to the audience on social. So a lot of really great use cases in terms of trying to zero in on the conversation that your audience is telling you on social media. And we hear a lot of great stories of how people are utilizing this tool, especially during moments where it's just mission critical for the community's safety. I mean, here on your screen, we have this case study published at our website, but basically the folks over at Charlotte County, they used this really to track the emergency response during Tropical Storm Debbie. So as you can see here from the picture I have here, they had the search and listen feed actually projected on a TV screen inside their office. And this is something that I used to do back in the day when I worked in the newsroom. I remember one time we had a massive tornado outbreak that really struck the Dayton, Ohio area bad. It was over 20 tornadoes. And we did something similar in our newsroom where we basically put together a social listening feed and we projected that into the newsroom. So this is something that, again, can help both industries, but especially in those moments where the public safety is mission critical. So not only can you identify what the audience is talking about, but once you're able to identify what they're talking about, then it's important to track that. And really, it's important to provide constant relevant content on that topic. So we also have tools that can help you easily track specific topics. So if you notice, for example, that parks are doing really well for your team, what you can do on all of your parks posts is you can leave an SND tag on that. And what's really cool about this is that you can create as many topic tags as you'd like. And from there, you can pull reporting on specific tags. That's something that, again, really sort of helps you track these overperforming topics. And once you have that tracked, you then can track the overall reporting. So we have our live post manager view, which you can see here, where you can essentially track all of your social media posts. If you wanted to drill down though to a specific post topic tag, you can do that. And in addition to all of that, you have the capability to create customizable reports that can be automatically sent out to your company. Just plug in the email addresses. And what's really great about this tool is that you can basically set it and forget it. So in other words, if you wanted to create scorecard reports or stats roll-up reports, and you wanted those reports to go out every day, week, or month, you can easily do that. And so again, this really is important because it's not just enough to track how your content is doing, but it's also important to understand, okay, now that we have the information, how do we get this information? How do we get more content like this out to our audience? The last question that we need to tackle here is, how can I keep improving and stay ahead in a changing landscape? Look, the real constant about social media is that it's going to be constantly changing. And so it's important for us to understand this and be fluid and constantly increase our knowledge. And that's what I love about Social News Desk. Because when I was a former client of Social News Desk, it wasn't that I just signed up and used a social media publishing tool. I genuinely felt a part of a partnership. I genuinely felt a part of a friendship with Social News Desk because not only did they helped me with my troubleshooting questions, but they also provided me with great content that increased my knowledge. For example, we put on monthly webinars. You probably have been on some of those webinars. This is one of them right now going on. And again, what's really fantastic about this is that we stay up to date on the latest trends. We interview industry experts, and we also highlight a lot of case studies of S&D customers that are really excelling in their social media strategy. Not only do you have access to monthly webinars, but we also have an entire knowledge base inside the dashboard that answers pretty much all of your questions regarding social media in the S&D dashboard. And what is really great about this is that we also update this daily. So if you get inside the S&D dashboard, you're never lost because the answers are always in front of you, because we always make sure to give our clients fantastic resources. And so we have an entire knowledge base of content. And in addition to all of that, we have what are called client success managers. And this is basically our customer service team. And what's really unique about how Social News Desk tackles customer service is, again, we view this as a partnership. If there was one word to describe our customer service team, it's this: they're intentional. They're intentional about staying in touch with you. If they haven't heard from you, they're going to reach out to you. They're going to ask you, hey, what are you liking about the dashboard? And more importantly, what can we add to the dashboard that's going to help your day-to-day social media strategy? What's really fantastic about all of the products that we've gone over, all of the tools we've gone over today, is most of those were a result of current S&D customers coming to us and saying, hey, is there any way that you can build this and make this a reality? And that's what's really awesome about Social News Desk, is that we really value the customer relationship, and we want to hear from you. We want to get that feedback from you. If you're in the news industry, what's really unique about our customer service team is they're all former journalists themselves. And not only are they former journalists, but they're also former S&D customers. So this is a team that knows this product inside and out. But most importantly, they understand your pain points. And when I was a former client of Social News Desk working in the newsroom, it was so encouraging to know that when I reached out to someone on the customer service team at Social News Desk, they understood my pain point. They understood what I was going through. And so that's something that, again, is really fantastic about Social News Desk. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave this QR code here on the screen. If you want to schedule a demo, I would be more than happy to jump inside the tool and answer your questions. But on that same note, as far as questions go, do you guys have any questions? And Sarah Lloyd, she's monitoring the questions. So Sarah, do we have any questions coming in?
Yeah, so a couple of questions for you, James. First of all, can I control which platforms certain users can post to?
Yeah, great question. And the answer is absolutely. So with Social News Desk, you have permission levels for each user. And not only can you control which account they post to, but let's say maybe there's someone on your team where you don't necessarily want them posting. Maybe you just want them to look at reporting. You're able to toggle those user permissions. And what's really great about it is it really is just a click of a button. So if you need to make a quick, if you need to make a quick move and quickly edit someone's permission level, you can do that within seconds.
All right, and a follow-up to that one, does Social News Desk offer an approvals workflow?
Yes, we do. So what's really fantastic about the overall security on posts before they go out is we give you the option to look at posts that are under approval, and you can either approve or deny those posts. What I like about it too is not only can you approve or deny a post, but you can also leave a specific note on why you chose to approve or deny it. So this is something that, again, is not an added on cost. It's all included in the cost. And if your team wants to use post approvals, you absolutely can do that.
Yeah, that's great. All right, next question. I work outside of government and news. Can I still use Social News Desk?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. If you have a social media platform and you post to it, you are our perfect customer. So absolutely. We work with all kinds of customers across different industries. And what I like about Social News Desk as well is that not only do we work across different industries, but we also don't have a preference on how big you are. And that's really nice because, I've worked with a lot of different tools, and there's some tools out there where, yeah, they're like, you have to be like this tall to ride the ride. What's great about Social News Desk is whether or not you're a team of one person or a team of 20, we are going to still treat you the same. And we're going to focus on your pain points and your needs. So, absolutely, if you're not in news or local government, you can still use our tool.
Yeah, and I would also point out, we do support some very, very large groups. We have some customers that have literally thousands of users.
Yeah.
So, the scale doesn't really matter. But, like you said, anyone, we really prioritize all of our customers the same. So, we have customers who have maybe one or two users, and we still reach out to them, talk to them, get their feedback on the tool. Some of the features that I've been working with our dev team on came at the suggestion of, folks who have just a handful of people on their team. And we really love to hear from you guys and understand the needs that you have. So that's something, this is a real point of pride for us, I think.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Yeah. So the last question we have, I can see on the screen that you guys offer demos. Does S&D also offer a free trial?
Yes, we do. So we do have free trial options. We'll offer you a 2-week trial, and again, that's also something that's unique about us is that even if you're going to start a trial, me or someone on the sales team will stay in touch with you during that trial. So if you have any questions about kind of, hey, how can we jump on a quick demo and show me this feature, or hey, I'm having issues posting to this account, we're still there for your questions, even if it's just a trial. So yes, to answer your question, you can absolutely do a trial with us.
All right. And we actually had one more question come in. Is social archiving an add-on cost?
Social archiving is an add-on cost, and so that's something that we have all that information on our site. We didn't go over it today because we were specifically looking at use cases for news and government, but a lot of our local government clients are utilizing our S&D archive feature. And a few things to note about S&D archive that I think are important. The first one is there are no limits on the amount of records that you can pull. And that's significant because you may be dealing with another tool where there is a limit, and if you get a request in to pull any sort of social media content and you hit that limit, then there's an added cost. What's great about S&D Archive is there are no limits on the amount of records that you can pull. We also have fantastic features inside the S&D archiving tool, specifically around alerting as well. So if you want to track a specific keyword that's mentioned, you can actually have that emailed directly to your team. And again, I think a huge plus of S&D Archive is just the amount of platforms that we can archive. The one that really sticks out to me that's unique is Nextdoor. We are able to archive Nextdoor in addition to all of the platforms that actually you see over my shoulder here. So there's a lot of flexibility with S&D Archive, and again, I highly encourage you guys to visit our site, socialnewsdesk.com. In that drop-down menu, you'll see under our offerings S&D Archive. I highly encourage you go and read it. You can also schedule a demo right there.
Awesome. I think that's all the questions we have, and that puts us right at half an hour. So thanks so much, James.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining the call today. And like I said, the QR code to schedule a demo is right there, and I would love to hear from you. Thanks and have a great day.